Hi fairies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fifi. It's so nice to have you here. I hope you stay a while. Today we are going to be doing a 24-hour readathon, but with a twist. Okay, we are going to be reading e-arcs for the entirety of this readathon, and I'm actually so excited because I joined Netcali recently and I've been granted a lot of arcs. I've read a number of them now, and while I was about to start the next one, I was like, hold on, I should be filming this. So here we are doing a readathon with e-arcs. I think with this readathon, I'm going to do the 12-hour method. So today I will be reading for 12 hours at least, and then tomorrow I'll do the same, and then combined we would have read for 24 hours. Okay, because I can never do the 24 hours straight. I don't think anybody can actually read for 24 hours straight. So yeah, these are all my arcs, but I think the first one we're going to get to is The Dragon Ranch of Dawn Ridge by Julieta Caruso. This is actually like a cozy fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't necessarily know what it's about, but obviously we'll find out as we read. I just really liked the cover. I thought it was very fun, and I recently read my first ever real cowboy romance and I quite liked it. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and so I'm kind of riding that high a little bit, and I thought this would be a good place because it's like also a bit of a fantasy. Dedication to everyone looking for a place to belong. Your home is out there. Thank you. Actually, thank you. Needed that. Content warning, okay. Physical assault, including mild gore, violence, loss of a family member, off page due to illness, organized crime, including murder and drug activity, off page, child neglect and parentification, off page, animal cruelty and unprotected sex. Okay, so I was thinking this is a cozy fantasy. What's with all the warnings? Now I'm scared. First chapter. Let's read it. Oh, this is going to be like cowboy romance, but like make it about dragons. First page, we already have like lots of dragon stuff. Okay, I think our main character rears dragons. Hi guys, it's actually been a lot of hours since I last spoke to you. I wanted to give this update a long time ago when I was around 30-40% mark of this book, but then I was like, okay, one more chapter, and I kept saying one more chapter until I made it 64% into this book, and here I am finally giving you an update and actually going to tell you what this book is about. So we have our main characters, Cassia and Avery. Cassia was a cook, a chef that worked in, the upper echelon cities, and she had a brother who basically joined a band of misfits. One day she goes to kind of beg him or make him come back home, leave this group, and the group ends up just beating her up and leaving her half dead in a forest. Then comes our main character Avery, who stumbles upon her in that forest with his dragon, which we'll get into a little bit later. So yeah, he takes her to a healer to make sure that she's fine, all that, and then he brings her to his home where he lives with his grandmother, his father, and his two brothers. And basically this home is a ranch, and instead of horses they actually raise or rear dragons, and they also have other animals like cows and bulls, and it's just so fun, so random. And the dragons are so cool and so cute because they can hear what humans say but they obviously can't talk, and they just like, it's just so much fun. She starts to live with them, starts to walk with them, obviously in her keep, and eventually they fall in love. Obviously I haven't gotten there yet, but it's kind of obvious that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's a fantasy romance, but yeah, it's definitely giving cozy fantasy romance because not much is happening. We're just following them live their lives and build this friendship, and which will eventually be a relationship. But yeah, I'm honestly really, really liking it. I found that I am a huge fan of cozy fantasies where not much necessarily is happening plot wise, but we are seeing the characters kind of build together and live their lives. I just think it's so fun, especially in this setting, which is so evocative and so fun, honestly, with the dragons and the ranch and the animals and her basically being a cook, cooking for them. Like, it's just so much fun. There's obviously a bit of a fun family situation because his grandmother really likes her, his brothers like her, his father, doesn't necessarily love her right now, but he's starting to warm up to her. Obviously there's going to be a bit of a third act breakup where everything with her brother and his gang of misfits blows up in her face because she hasn't really told them about that, and what even happened to her in the first place. She's kind of keeping that to herself right now because she doesn't want them to think differently of her, but she's also trying to protect her brother. And yeah, I honestly know things are going to go haywire for this final 30%, which I'm kind of scared of, but obviously I know that things will eventually or at the end of the day wrap up nicely. I don't know if this is going to be like a bit of an interconnected series because it seems like maybe we could get some books for his brothers. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. The writing is very fun and very cool. It's funny, it's humorous, but it's also like pretty, evocative and immersive. It really just takes you away. It's nothing lyrical or poetic by any means. It's pretty straightforward and to the point, but there are some lines and quotes where you're like, ooh, this is really good. So yeah, I'm honestly just sat enjoying it for what it is. And I think it's going to be like a very solid 4 star. It's not giving me anything more than that necessarily because I'm also having some issues with like some of the plot lines and some of the things that they say. Some of the dialogue is a bit like cringy, or I don't know how to put it necessarily. It's not like cringy that, oh, I don't want to read this, but it's like, yeah, okay, let's not say that. Let's not do that. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, to be honest. The final chapter that I just read before I decided to actually update you guys, we had them not really give love confessions, but air out their feelings because they haven't really done that, obviously. And eventually at the end of the chapter or towards the end they hook up and it's very detailed, it's very spicy, but it's just for that chapter at least for now. But yeah, I can't wait to see how everything really pans out and what the end of the book becomes. I will say there was an issue that I had with the writing where instead of cause like or because she said cause like cuz, and I'm like, um maybe you can actually use the actual word because, or you can use cause with the apostrophe in front of it. But like, let's not use cuz. Like, are we texting? Are we chatting? Like, what's I don't know. I didn't love that, but that's honestly the only issue I've had. But obviously, this is an arc that could probably be fixed up or changed in the officially released version. But yeah, I'm having fun, to be honest. I'm just having fun. I'm here for the vibes. And obviously he's a very like hot ranch man, and I'm eating it up, to be honest. I'm going to keep reading. We have about 9 hours and 2 minutes left, so we're good on time, but I won't lie, it's like 2 p.m right now and we still have 9 hours, so I need to lock in, finish this book and start another one so we can actually finish our 12 hours for today because I don't know. I've just been quite busy. I have like a lot of videos to edit and just things that I need to do. So I don't know. I'll let you guys know whatever happens though. They're both literally so hot, and I love that she's kind of described as a bigger character. They haven't necessarily said that she's fat or like chubby, but she is described as a bigger character, but he still was able to carry her when she was hurt. And their banter is really, really fun and cute. He is very cute. I don't know if I would call him like a golden retriever type of character, but he's very much like not knowledgeable about a lot of things. This is actually the first time he has ever been with anybody. So she was the one taking charge when they were doing, and it was really hot. I really, really liked this book, honestly. I enjoyed it so much for what it was. It wasn't anything special or anything deep. It was very much a cozy fantasy romance with like very meager plot line. Not much really happened, but honestly, it was enough for me. Okay, I really just ate it up. I have nothing more to actually say because I feel like I've said everything that I can say. I just loved, the progression of the romance and the found family, and I really like our main character's family. I do think there has to be like more books in this series. Like it's probably going to be an interconnected series because I feel like there's more to be uncovered when it comes to his family and his brothers, and I feel like there are so many places and plot lines that can come off his brothers and their lives. And I'm actually really excited if the author decides to do an interconnected series and give us more books. Like I actually am getting the appeal from cowboy romances and ranch life, stuff like that. I really am loving just the ranch energy, the country energy, the I don't know, I really don't know what it's called, but Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm honestly going to give this book 4 stars. I think it just did exactly what it intended to do. Like it wasn't anything over the top, like amazing. It definitely was not a 5 star because I did have some issues with the writing and some of the dialogue and plots. But yeah, it was a solid read. Honestly, I really would recommend it if you're looking for like a very quick, easy, cozy, cute romance to just binge. So the next arc I'm going to be reading isn't a cowboy romance per se, but it's still on that small town cozy vibe from what I think I understand. But basically this is Steady Now. It's by Liberty Stowe and it says from the sound of bacon frying and sliding merengue to coveted tractor emoji invitations in this sexy seasoning small town romance will make you glad you did. Okay, Ren Baldwin. Okay, Haley, hi, isn't running for her life. She's running from it until her Maserati stops running near Vogel Springs, Texas, home to Hudson Bass, the only man in 100 miles who can fix it. She hits town just as his life is spinning out of control, but damn it if he can't keep his eyes off her. The mechanic who can fix anything for himself may have found the fix that will break him. Okay? It's honestly just giving vibes. Obviously, it's very straightforward. It's just like this popular woman who is running from, the throes of her life, and then she comes across this small town with a hot guy, and obviously things get spicy from what I can see. Very sexy. Trigger warnings: although Steady Now is a small town romance, it is crucial to note the story includes foul language and sexually explicit content, making it an 18 plus read. Other notable triggers are parental neglect, child abandonment, and mentions of drug use. Okay, interesting. We have a playlist that seems fun. There's like Lana, obviously Post Malone, Morgan Wallen. Ugh. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are just like a bunch of country artists. Lady Wilson, yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'll listen to it. Who knows? It seems like this would be an evocative small town country read, and honestly, I'm excited. I honestly have just been eating up the cozy, plotless, or like slight plot type books recently. So yeah, chapter one. So I can tell that this is going to be that kind of funny, humorous, rom-commy type of contemporary romance. But obviously, the main characters will have a lot underlying when it comes to their lives and their background, maybe even trauma. So yeah, honestly, I'm excited to read it. I don't think it will be anything special, but I'm here for the vibes. We have 7 hours and 10 minutes on the clock, and it's literally 5 p.m., almost 6 p.m. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even think we're going to be able to finish our 12 hours for today, but I'm going to try. Okay. I'm going to read this book now, and yeah, whatever happens, I will obviously let you know. So this might be our first flop of the video. I am not loving it. I'm not even liking it. This is so insta love. Like insanely insta love. Literally the first day they meet, they're like, oh, she's so hot and she's so this and he's so that. And I'm like, girl, be so for real. Like you don't even know this man. Like they're being so dramatic about it too. Like, oh, he makes my heart flutter. Oh, I feel fire. Like calm the fuck down. Like you just met this guy. Let's chill the fuck out. Sorry, I'm like a literal sailor right now because I'm so annoyed by this book. Like this just feels like an author or the author was just looking to create a lusty, smutty, spicy book to feed the booktok girlies because there's literally no actual plot. Like she wants to make us think or believe that there's plot, but there's literally no plot to be found anywhere. Our main character is stuck in this small town, and this mechanic is the only one that can help her fix her Maserati. And things just keep happening that cause the fixing date of the Maserati to just keep being pushed forward and forward and forward. And it's like obviously you're trying to build something, but it's not working because you cannot even create an actual plot line. Okay, you are being very clunky about it, you are being very distorted about it all. The writing is so distorted, it's so like almost Wattpad-y. Like it's giving books I would have read in my Wattpad era. Like it's giving Chasing Red. But like this isn't even giving you the yearning that books like Chasing Red and After gave. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like insta love. And like I think on chapter 11 they were already trying to have, it was literally getting so descriptive, but then they got like distracted or interrupted by her best friend who is gay, and like I'm just not loving it. I'm really not. And the male main character just feels so misogynistic. Like he has already called a woman a bitch, and I'm like it's not outright misogyny per se, and obviously the author's trying to convince us that he's actually just like a hardworking, strong, masculine man. But like babe, at the end of the day, it's internalized and ratioed misogyny. Like yeah, I'm not loving it. Also, our female main character has no substance. Like the author again is trying to tell us instead of show us, you know, that she has substance and like background trauma, blah blah blah. And it's just like, okay, but where though? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm obviously so over it. I cannot wait to finish it. Obviously, I don't DNF books. I don't really DNF books, and this is like a an arc that I need to send a review in of. So I don't think I can DNF it. But like if I was someone that would DNF a book, I would have DNF this like a long time ago. So yeah, we have 4 hours, 52 minutes on the clock, and it's literally almost 10 p.m. So obviously, we're not getting our 12 hours done for the day, but that's fine. I'm going to stay up until I finish it, and then we'll try again tomorrow. I'm just not loving this book, and it's like almost putting me in a book slump, but like I refuse. I'm like, God forbid. You want to put me in a book slump when I've been having such a great time? Like, I'm going to keep reading. I think I'll update you guys when I finish this book, when I force myself to finish this book. Hopefully, it gives me at least a little bit more, but I'm not really counting on it. So I finished the book study now yesterday, and it's definitely like a 2 star or a 2.5 star. Yeah, it was a pretty bad book. And I don't say that very lightly because I don't like to call any book a bad book. But yeah, this was written so poorly. Like this author wanted to be one of those Henry type authors, but it just never gave. It just was hindered by everything else that she did to appease whoever she was trying to appease. Maybe the booktok girlies, I don't even know. Okay, like every single aspect of the romance that could have been cute or like lovely or heartfelt just was overcome and overshadowed by all the lusty sexual things that were happening in that same moment. Like it was just too much. I forgot to mention that the male main character has a son, and there was a whole plot line with his, son's mother and how she's such a bad human, blah blah blah. And a lot of it just felt so unrealistic, but also it was very irritating because he called her a bitch like a number of times, a lot of times, and I'm just like, okay, yes, she's bad and she does this and she does that, but like for you to willingly call a woman a bitch so many times, like it was actually maybe like 5, 6 times, and I'm like, also like I said, none of the characters had any like foundational basis for their behaviors and their characters and their, you know, arcs, I guess. Like they just felt so one dimensional in the worst possible ways. Like this author just took so many tropes from different books and tried to put them into one, and just never worked. It never went the way that she thought it was going to. Maybe obviously it would work for a number of people. Like there's obviously a market for books like this, which is crazy to me. But yeah, it was just not it to me. The writing was so clunky, so like distorted. I was like, what is going on? So many points where I was like, wait, how did we get here? And there were so many explanations for things, especially during the sex scenes. I'm like, how does this work? Like, this is like kind of physically impossible. It was just really a lot. And also there was a point where there was like a character who is gay that made some jokes about black people and Indians. So I was just like, icked out by that. Like it wasn't the worst thing ever, and it was, I guess, funny maybe, but I just find it so cringe when white characters or white people make jokes about black people or people of color, no matter how funny it may be, it's like that's literally not your joke to make. And it's so crazy because these characters are described as pale white. Like this author makes it an effort and he points to say that these characters are very white and very pale. And I'm like, for them to be making jokes like that, like, God, bye. There were also just so many unrealistic things going on with the storyline and plot lines, like the fact that they could just buy a home in less than 3 days and already start working on it, and like they were still living in the home while there were like hundreds of construction workers. Like it just did not make any sense to me. Like a lot of the plot lines and dialogue and just writing in general did not make sense. It did not work together. It did not flow seamlessly. And I want to believe or hope that maybe this was a problem with the arc and the official release would be different. But yeah, I'm not very sure about that because it felt like this author is very like sure about what she was doing. So yeah, 2 star, maybe 2.5, because like it wasn't the worst thing ever. I'm going to stop talking about it now because it really annoyed me. But I was about to start a new book and then I literally fell asleep, and I fell asleep with my timer on. So yeah, sorry about that. But I think we had about like 1 hour and 30 minutes left, almost 2 hours. So I think we were setting the timer today for our 12 hours. We're going to add 2 hours more. So we have 14 hours to read today and it's already 10 a.m. So yeah. Obviously that probably won't work out. I probably have to stay up, maybe even take a little hours um into tomorrow. But yeah. The next book we're going to start though is this one, Crown of Bears by R.L. Perez. Beauty and the Beast retelling with a twist full of dark fae magic, deadly court schemes, and steamy romance. So this is actually part of an interconnected series. I think the first one was like a Sleeping Beauty retelling also, but you can read them in any order. And yeah, I was granted this arc, so I'm obviously going to read this because I don't really care to read the first one. Basically it says he must wed her to break the curse. She must kill him to save her kingdom. Every generation, the Earthen Court gives a princess bride to the Wraith King to protect their realm from his deadly shadows. Princess Sibyl has prepared her entire life to be married to the monster who has been terrorizing her people, and she has a plan to end their people's suffering for good. With the help of her dragon familiar who can sniff out powerful enchantments, she intends to uncover the source of the Wraith King's shadow magic. Once he is rendered powerless, she plans to kill him, but despite his demonic appearance, the Wraith King is not who he appears to be. He is as alluring as he is deadly, and as Sibyl comes to know him, he awakens a fire in her soul she never knew she had. When she realizes she is trapped by a powerful cause, she wants to do everything in her power to break it, but to do so would endanger her own life and the lives of her people. Torn between her duty to her kingdom and breaking the Wraith King's curse, Sibyl must decide where her loyalties lie: to the home she was raised to protect, or to the Dark King who has worked his way into her heart. So yeah, this is taking like a bit of a basic or like typical theme. I've seen a lot of premises just like this in the whole fantasy romance space, but I want to believe that this might be a unique take on it, or like, yeah, just different, especially with the vibe of the whole retelling thing. So yeah, I'm kind of excited actually. I'm really excited to read a fantasy romance, romantasy, because I've actually been craving that a bit. Let's set our timer. We are going to do 14 hours. Oh my god. Starting now. To all the readers who were disappointed when the beast transformed into a human, Various in all his monstrous glory was written for you. Oh, okay. Which I was one of those people actually, because the real prince, the human prince, was kind of underwhelming to say the least. Yeah, there's a map. Seems pretty cool. Author's note: this novel contains content that may be triggering. Rape and sexual assault not between the main couple are mentioned in reference to events that occurred in the past, but nothing graphic is described on page. There are also scenes with attempted sexual assault. In addition, the story includes graphic violence and graphic sexual content. Consensual. Please be mindful of your triggers and mental health before you read. Okay, thanks for that. All right, first chapter, The Beast. Oh, he's actually a beast. Wow, that's okay. It's like giving monster romance, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever read like a real monster romance. I'm kind of scared. Okay, I'm going to get, a little bit into this, and then I'll give you guys an update and my initial thoughts. So the chapters apparently go back and forth between the beast and the beauty. So that's very interesting. I'm interested in seeing whether this stays true to the original story or how true it stays to the original story. But yeah, I'm really intrigued. Like, I have no real thoughts, obviously. I'm just like 15 pages into it, and there are 430 pages. But yeah, I'm intrigued. We have 11 hours left on the timer, 11 hours and 42 minutes. And yeah, I am now 32% into this book, and I have some thoughts. I do. I'm really liking it. I will say that first of all, I'm really, really liking it and enjoying the story so far. Basically, I already told you the premise, but we have our main characters, Sibel and Various. Sibel is a half fae princess, okay, and her father is human, but he had to cut a fae woman so he can give birth to Sibel. And so all her life she has been trained to, marry the Wraith King and eventually overthrow him and kill him. That's literally all she has been trained to do. Her father doesn't really care about her as a person. He just cares about her purpose, essentially. And the time finally comes for the Wraith King to come and claim his bride because there's looming danger because of the darkness that is encroaching and encroaching on the land, both lands, human land and the Fey kingdom land. I don't know. And yeah, eventually she goes to the Fey land. She marries the king, and yeah, we're just seeing things kind of unravel and come to fruition. But there have been some interesting moments with the writing where I'm like, okay, I don't love this because it feels like the author isn't allowing us to use our own brains. Okay, it feels like the author is just trying to over explain everything. Like, we know that the fays are like really, really huge and they have different forms, blah blah blah. But then she has to point it out every single time. Like when she was entering the castle and she realized that the hallways were so large, she was like, I'm assuming this is because the fae are like really huge. Okay. And then when she got to her room, the bed was like really big. And she said again, I'm assuming this is because the fae are like door. Like, we get it. Okay. You don't have to keep pointing it out every single moment. Another thing that like really icked me out a little bit is that the king is almost like hundreds of years old. And yeah, I just find that weird because she's like 18 or two, like she's definitely not a minor, but it's still like weird because he is almost 100 years or like hundreds of years, honestly, older than her. And I'm just like, I don't know about that. And he obviously looks like a monster. She's not scared of him necessarily because she's also half a blah blah blah. She's like this strong-willed, princess, the usual. And she claims not to be scared of him, even though she kind of is. And yeah, I think it's going well. I'm intrigued by the story. There's definitely a plot going on and like things to be uncovered. There's obviously so much to be revealed and so much that needs to come to light. I mean, our female main character has a dragon, and she basically found this dragon randomly. It came to her when she was much younger, and people are not really allowed to have dragons, especially where she comes from. And so she has been hiding the dragon from her father and her people. And now that she has moved to this fake kingdom and fake castle, her dragon definitely followed her, but she's still trying to hide the dragon from everybody. Obviously the dragon is going to be discovered quite soon because she's really like just pushing it a little bit. But yeah, I'm really, really liking it, especially because the dragon seems very fun. It's a situation where the dragon can actually interact with the person that they have been bonded to. And with this amber stone that our main character has, she can talk to the dragon can talk to her back. They have like funny banter, and it's just like almost cute. They feel like best friends in a way, and I'm really enjoying that. I'm just enjoying the dynamic between a lot of the characters right now. It's literally almost 9 p.m. and we still have 8 hours and 15 minutes on the clock. Okay, so this is definitely going to go into tomorrow, but that's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to crash out over it. I've just been quite busy, to be honest. I've just had a lot to do. I've been editing because I had to upload a video today. I already did that, and I still have more videos I need to edit, and like a lot is just going on. But I have been reading, okay. I've actually made it 84% into this book. I literally was just like, okay, I need to read one more chapter, one more chapter. And it's so intriguing, it's so interesting, it's so entrancing. Like the world is very much evocative, it's very much vibey. To say the least. It's like very specific to a certain vibe. It's not necessarily gothic, but it's like dark and mystic and magical. There's a lot that goes into the world and the magical elements of this book. I would say though, there's no specific explanation for the magic in this world. You know, a lot of things have been told to us, but it's not like sticking to that particular scenario, I guess. I don't know how to explain it without, divulging plot points and stuff like that. But I am really, really liking it. I'm liking the writing a lot. It's nothing too deep, it's nothing too lyrical per se. It has its moments where it's like, oh, really nice and stuff, but it's like still very much easy to understand. I would say where the writing has some faults is during the sex scenes. There's only been one like full on sex scene, but there have been various moments of sexual encounters, and it's definitely very like cringe and like weird and like I don't know how to explain it. It's just that this MMC is a beast. Okay, so he has body parts that are bigger than the normal body parts, and so when he uses them in sexual moments, he also uses like his tail and his shadows, and it's just like whoa, things are happening that have never happened before. Like I have never seen this type of thing be written before. Like I have heard of people reading these types of books, but I've just never really indulged. I've definitely read spicy fantasy books, and I do find those corny sometimes because of the fantastical element. I'm just like, in no way. But like this is just on a whole different level because it's like just inhuman almost. And it's like how does that fit where you are saying it fits into? Oh, it's just a lot, but it's also quite interesting and quite entertaining. Like I'm just entertained. I'm just trudging along. Like it's so fun to be honest, and I definitely found myself laughing and giggling and kicking my feet at so many points of this book. So like I can't really complain too much. I'm not like the biggest fan of the characters, but I'm also not hating them. I think they're actually very well curated characters. They have like real motivations and characteristics that actually resonate with me for the most part. I would say though they have both been quite annoying and cringy at various points. More annoying on the FMC's part and more cringy on the MMC's part. But yeah, it's nothing too drastic, nothing I can't get over, nothing that I literally haven't already gotten over. So yeah. We are getting to the point of the readathon where I truly am just over it. Like I finished Crown of Bears, then I, decided to take a little bit of a break. I watched some YouTube, then I tried starting another book and I wasn't really getting into it. And then I started editing, then I fell asleep editing. And then I woke up and I was reading for like 2 hours. Tell me why after reading for like 2 hours, I'm only at page 72 of this new book that I started. Like I should be much further. I should be around the 100-page mark. It's just obvious that I'm not into it. I'm not feeling it. I truly am just over this. I can't lie. I cannot lie. It's actually 5 a.m. and I still have 4 hours and 48 minutes on the clock. Like this is not going how I planned, but I'm just going to accept that I was not able to do this in the 2 days that I thought I would be able to do it in. So we're definitely going to continue this later today. But before that, I wanted to give you my final thoughts on Crown of Breads. Yeah, I think it was a good book for what it was. It was a solid read, very entertaining. Like, it kept me very interested throughout the entire book. It just wasn't the best thing ever. It wasn't even that good, to be honest. I think there's definitely a market for books like this. I just think that I'm probably not part of that market. Like, I'm probably not the type of people that would love to read a book like this. Like, it was just entertaining because I was flabbergasted in the moment. But I think it's just way too spicy. It's way too lost field. At the end of the day, while I thought the romance had like potential to be really cute, and I was definitely like laughing and giggling and kicking my feet at so many points, it just ended up being too lost field. Like, immediately after something happened to one of the main characters, and they thought they were going to die. They literally already started like, and it's just like, I just would not be thinking about that in that moment. Also, there were so many inconsistencies in the writing, and it was just like really annoying because you're telling us one thing now, and then the next minute you're telling us something else that kind of contradicts what you already told us. And it's like, come on. I think the characters were like solid characters. They definitely had like, reasons for their motivations. They were multi layered, multifaceted, you know. I just didn't love them, and I came to not really love their relationship as much as I wanted to. And generally, I think the plot was good. It was very interesting how it had the typical romantasy tropes, especially with the whole fae things and like stuff like that. But because it was mixed with the Beauty and the Beast retelling and plot points from the actual story, it felt a little bit unique. But in hindsight, it was really that unique. It was just like, it was good for what it was, honestly. I think it was just a good, enjoyable read for what it was. If you like dark fantasy books and dark fantasy retellings, you will definitely enjoy it for what it is, okay? But it's nothing special. It's nothing to really like write endlessly about. I think I'm going to settle on a 3.5. It was okay and a somewhat enjoyable read, albeit quite unrealistic, maybe a little too unrealistic and outlandish for me. But it wasn't bad. After that though, I really just wanted a cute, simple, not dark, cozy read. So I started Love by the Book by Noel Bailey. This is like the second book in the Magnolia Cove series. The first one is called Whisked Away, I believe. It's an interconnected series, so you don't necessarily have to read the first one before you read this one. And I was given the arc for this one, so I'm like, I don't really care too much. But maybe I should have read the first one. I don't know. This book is about Rihanna and Eli, and Rihanna is like a matchmaker. Okay, that's literally her job. She owns a library, but she also matches people together. She finds love for other people because she has sworn off love herself. Then comes Eli Lancaster. He's looking for love, and she is going to find somebody for him, or she's supposed to. But eventually, obviously, they fall in love. I haven't gotten there yet, but I will say at the point that I am in right now, it's giving insta love. It's giving, yeah, they're already kind of feeling for each other, and like they just met. They actually just met. But I'm liking the vibes of this book. It's like very cozy. It's like giving witchy romance in a small town, just cozy energy, nothing too deep, nothing too serious. They're like themes of grief, just a little bit, but it's not taking away from how lighthearted and fun this book generally is. I think that I would like it a lot more if I wasn't feeling literally just over reading right now. Um, I know that it's nothing special and I didn't expect it to be an amazing book. I just wanted a simple, cozy read. But right now, I think I'm just going to go to bed. It's usually almost 6 a.m. I'm just going to go to bed, okay, sleep for a couple of hours, wake up tomorrow, and then actually continue and finish this book and also finish this freaking readathon and video because, yeah, I think I just need a little bit of a break from reading. Like, have I not tried? So, yeah, see you guys tomorrow, actually, later today. 2 hours, 43 minutes left on the clock, and I am 66% into Love by the Book. I really don't have any actual thoughts about this book. It's one of those just sickly sweet type books that are definitely just for the cozy vibes and the nostalgia and just the cutesy feeling of it all. For some reason, I thought that I was in that mood, but I'm really just not. Like, it's just too sweet. It's too I don't know. We are definitely touching subjects like grief and sadness, but it's otherwise just like very much light-hearted and calm and cute. And yeah, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. I really like the characters. I definitely do think this is a case of like huge insta love, but it's not like too bad where you can't stand it or like you're rolling your eyes every 2 seconds. I just can see that, once they met, like almost immediately, they were already like, ooh, we are so obsessed with each other. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't hate it, but I'm just not loving it. I'm just not loving this book in general. I don't know if it's my mood or if it's because I'm sick of reading books right now, of reading arcs, I guess. I'm just not in the mood to read. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm in the mood for. I think I'm just in a life slump right now. Um, Life is just not cute. Yeah, like I said, we have 2 hours left. Actually 3 hours because it's 2 hours and 43 minutes. So I'm going to keep reading. I think I can finish this book before the timer runs out, but I'm definitely not starting another book, even if we have a little bit more time on the clock. Okay, once I finish this book, we're ending this video. Sorry, not sorry. I have finally finished Love by the Book by Noel Bailey. This was a very interesting book, okay? I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, okay? It wasn't the best thing ever, but it also wasn't the worst thing ever. I'm being quite vague. But yeah, this follows our two main characters, Eli and Rihanna. I think I've already said this actually, but basically, Eli had a situation where his friend co-worker died, okay, and because his co-worker is just like this very closed off, to himself type of person, nobody really realized that he died until like 2 days after, when Eli came to ask for a book that he borrowed and found him dead. So that kind of shook him up and like gave me a bit of a reality check, or a shock more like. And he's like, whoa, like I don't want to end up like this person who nobody really cared for enough to realize that he literally had already died. And Eli is just like this type of person that is very strict and to a certain type of, you know, lifestyle routine. He doesn't go out of his little box. He doesn't go out of his home. He likes to do things a specific way. And he's like, okay, I'm going to do at least 3 things that are spontaneous. I'm going to kind of go outside of my safe space and just like try to live my life a little more. So he decides to move to Magnolia Cove, this little town. And I don't know if the town itself has magic, or like just everybody everywhere has magic, because he also has magic, but he just moved to the town, but like people in the town have magic. So like it's a whole thing. I honestly don't know or understand how the magic works, because it really was not explained whatsoever. It's just like, here you go, this town has magic, deal with it. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, he comes to this town for a bit of a new experience, but he's also kind of searching for like these ancient texts, because he's like a professor of sorts. Like he's very into books. I don't know what exactly his job is or what he does. I think he's a professor. Let me just say he's a professor. But like, yeah, his whole thing is like books, and his magical ability is organizing books, which is like, okay, random. Then we have our female main character, who is actually a local in this town. She lives with her parents. She works in this library, and apparently her own magical ability is like being able to give people the perfect books for them and for their created moods. She finds out one day though that she's kind of able to match people together. So she puts up, matchmaking agency flyers all around the town, and our main character Eli sees it. And because he's trying to like step outside of his box and try new things, he decides to do this and ask her to match him with somebody. We have a whole situation though where he is dealing with grief, obviously because of his best friend or his co-worker dying, and also the shock of it all. But she is also dealing with grief because her grandmother died, and her boyfriend at the time left her because he couldn't really handle how she was behaving or being when she was going through this grief initially, and now she has kind of sworn off love for herself, but she's like very into matchmaking or like matching other people. Ela is honestly kind of her first ever customer, and she's trying to match him up with people. But because this book is insta lovey, she doesn't really like anytime that he goes out with somebody new, or anytime that he actually tries to match up with anybody, or like literally what her job is. Like from the first moment they meet, from the actual time they set their eyes on each other, they're literally like waxing poetic about each other, going on and on about how perfect they both are. but like not for each other because oh, I'm too this, I'm too shy, I'm too awkward. Like on Eli's perspective, and her, she's like, oh, I'm too wild, I'm too this, I'm too that. He doesn't want somebody like, and it's just like, let's be for real. Like this is not an actual problem, and you guys are like 20 something year olds. I believe they're like almost 30, and this is something that I hate. Like when they try to deceive themselves, oh, I'm too this, he won't want me. Like you're a grown up, just tell the person, just ask. Like I don't know, it just like pisses me off when I see things like this in romance books, especially when it's like in adults. Like I wouldn't really mind if it was like a YA book with, 17-year-olds. But you're an adult, kind of take charge, speak your mind. Anything happens, like you move on with your life, like it's really not that deep, and they're just so dramatic about it all. And because they have like a shared love for music and books, they just keep talking about music and books, and a lot of it feels a little bit or felt a little bit performative or like just cringy or corny. I don't know, it just felt like they didn't have real chemistry, but the author kept trying to tell us instead of show us said chemistry that she was implying. And it's just like, yes, they have a love for music and books and they love talking about it together, but like, where was the actual chemistry? And obviously, they have this whole thing of shared grief, blah, blah, blah. And I guess the book was sweet and cute, and even the ending was like wholesome, cute, whatever. But I don't know, maybe it's just because I wasn't in the mood for a book like this. It just felt like too sickly sweet and like I don't know, it just felt like it was doing too much and also giving nothing at the same time. Generally, though, I didn't have like a bad time reading it. Like the writing was, verging on poetic and giving like very intricate type of writing, like grammatic, lyrical type of writing, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I will say though, it felt a little bit much at some points, like especially the amount of simile that was used in this book, like every other sentence, blah blah blah, like this, blah blah blah, like this, like it's okay, I get it. You're trying to be metaphorical, but not really. You're like literally just using simile. And it's like, oh, he made me feel this. And it felt like when, oh, he did this. And it was just like enough. Enough. But yeah, I think it was like a solid, cozy read for what it was. I think honestly, it was just exactly what it intended to be honest. I think if this is what you want to read, and if you are in a mood for a book like this, you would enjoy it. So yeah, I didn't hate it, I just didn't love it. I think I'm going to settle on like a mm, 3.5, maybe 3.25, 3 point, I don't know, I really don't know, maybe 3, I don't know, it's going to be on the screen. Honestly, I'm really just over all this. Like I'm tired, I want to go and chill and stop reading. Like I'm tired of reading, which is something I didn't really expect to be saying. Like I want to read, but I'm tired of reading right now. We do still have 34 minutes on the timer, but obviously nothing is going to be done with that time. I guess I'm going to like, upload my reviews and, update my Goodreads, Fable, all that. But yeah, that actually brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if any of these books intrigued you. Honestly, it wasn't the most successful video ever because, the books were kind of mid. Steady Now was like really bad, but at least it got a 4 star in the first book, and I actually really liked that book. I keep thinking about it. Let me know if you have any recommendations for like cozy fantasy romances just like that one, because honestly, that's really my vibe these days. I don't know, I think cozy fantasy romance has to be my current favorite genre or like subgenre. I don't know. But yeah, just talk to me in the comments down below. I love reading and replying comments. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram if you want to be book besties or just besties in general. I would really love and appreciate that. But for now, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.